Agreed. Greetings and salutations. The universe is just doomed. 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 Doomed.
But if you even look at me funny, if you do one thing that I find weird, which is, like your middle name, see, you're doing it right now. Can you just act like a human boy for 1 minute here? Look at me like a person. You can't do it for more than a few seconds. Look at me like a human boy. Don't mess around with me. You're going to be back on that plane.
Hello.
Hi, welcome back.
You guys, we could barely contain our laughter just listening to the quote that you just heard because we are talking about
Clifford.
Not Clifford the Big Red Dog.
Nope.
We're talking about Martin Short. 30 years, 1994.
Well, kind of. It's been more than 30 years because it was filmed.
Before that.
Most of it was filmed. The bookend scenes were filmed later.
And by the way, it's me, Nicole.
And me, Tessa. Hi.
And Kim is here as Stefan.
Stefan, walk back.
And I'm going to tell you right now, if you have never seen this movie, stop this podcast.
Oh, my God.
And go and watch fucking Clifford.
Go and watch it now. My husband had
Amazon
no
Prime.
idea. And he had to work today, so he couldn't watch it with me. And I feel so bad still because he needs to watch this movie.
You have to see this.
I know. This
Dave,
was like...
even though you don't listen to this.
I know. He's never going to hear this. I've already berated him. Beat. Like me.
Beat him about the head and neck.
About the face and breasts.
Before we get started, I want to thank Chris K for joining our Patreon. Welcome. And he also sent a nice message, which I will read at the end.
Oh, stay tuned.
Hold on, I got to pump up the volume.
Pump up the volume.
Dance. Okay.
Yeah.
The cast.
Yes, we have Martin Short, of course, as Clifford Daniels.
His uncle, Charles Grodin, Martin Daniels. So was it really weird to say Martin over and over again when your name is Martin?
Yeah, I thought that was bizarre.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. Mary Steenburgen.
Miss Sarah Davis. Mrs. Ted Danson. Isn't that so weird to think of? Are they're still married, right?
I thought, oh no, that's right. She just had a kid with Malcolm McDowell. They're not married
No,
anymore.
yeah, she had a kid
I
before
think
Ted
so.
Danson,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, and like that kid is married. Her and Malcolm McDowell and Phil Collins are all in-laws.
That's
a word, isn't it?
That's wild.
That's a situation.
A situationship.
A situationship. Their children married each other.
Very weird.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really bizarre. And Mary Steenburgen, like we were discussing earlier, is right up there with Diane Wiest infection as mothers go.
Oh, yeah, totally.
I want her to be
my mom.
to be
my mom, totally.
And speaking of being my dad, Dabney Coleman is in this.
Which I don't want him to be my dad in this one.
No, not this. There's not very many things except for in Cloak and Dagger that you'd actually want him to maybe be your dad.
When he's Aunt B and Meet the Applegate.
Well, maybe that too, because
he was
kind of funny. But then he was just going to come there and like eat your head.
True.
So you don't want that.
You don't want that around.
No.
Richard Kind as Julian Daniels.
And Jennifer Savidge as Theodora Daniels.
And I didn't write down anybody else.
Neither did I, but Shifty Shellshock's in this movie.
Yeah, we said Charles Grodin.
Yeah, in the very beginning. Shifty Shellshock from Come My Lady, Come,
oh,
Come
yeah,
My
Ben
Lady.
Savage.
You're my sugar,
Butterfly.
Sugar baby. That's it. Yeah. Oh,
sorry
yeah.
that we know that.
No, I'm not
Nobody
sorry.
doesn't
Everybody
know
knows
that.
Everybody of a certain age knows that fucking song.
It just happens to you.
Well, I just now found out that he was in this movie, and then when he came up in the thing, I was like, oh, yeah, that's totally...
I wouldn't have known his real name unless he was listed as Shifty Shellshock.
He was.
Nuh-uh.
Not in the
in the credits.
Movie. No. Okay,
I was like, wait, what?
In the credits, when I looked it up, like, the other day, yes.
Yes, but not
then, I'm sure.
Okay.
That would have been hilarious. And that's what it said. If we go back and watch it now,
Shifty
and it says Shifty Shellshock.
Orphan boy. Or no, they're not orphans. I keep thinking
no,
it's an
they're not.
orphanage
They
and they're
have
not
parents.
Orphans. Yeah.
Well, at least Roger had parents. Ben Savage had parents.
Yeah.
Savage parents. There's two Savages spelled differently. Jennifer Savage and Ben Savage. And Jennifer Savage is Savage with an I.
IDGE.
Yeah. That's weird. Savidge.
Double Savidge.
Double Savidge movie, you guys.
So we open with a little storybook tale.
Yes, we have triumphant music and illustrated openings with little kid on a dinosaur.
It's Clifford on various adventures.
Cowboys and gangsters and astronauts in space.
From the beginning of time, children have dreamed of exciting, perilous adventures. Although the adventures are exciting for the child, they can be perilous for adults.
Ooh.
This is one such story.
Whee!
Cut to old man Martin Short as a priest at the wayward Boysville.
Yes, established 1993. And old man Short goes in through these gates. He's got like a butterfly. He's all whimsical and shit.
Our tale begins once upon a time in the future.
Yes, the year is 2050.
Still the future.
It is still the future.
And Father Clifford is deciding whether Roger is getting booted out.
Well, first he goes, he's like walking up. He's singing a little song. And like he gets hit with a basketball and then some luggage and then a child.
Yes. Well, that happens right after he has the conversation about, are you going to kick him out?
Oh, yeah. Well, he's a bad kid.
And he heads over to under his room. And all this shit is falling on his head because Lil Ben Savidge is trying to run away.
Yeah. What are you up to, Roger? Oh, I'm running away. And he like fakes a heart attack.
And when he comes back, he
look who's
snatches
recovered.
And he gives him a hug, and they go for a walk.
Right, and they talk about IQs, and Rogers is 185, and Clifford's is 190. Oh, wait, I meant to say 195. Well, mine's almost 200.
Look, it's not about this.
We're a lot alike. We get frustrated, and we can cause damage.
And so he tells him a story about when he was his age.
Right, he was going to Hawaii with his parents.
Cut to him on the plane.
Yep, he's like
38-year-old Martin Short.
38-year-old Martin
in his short pants and little tie.
In his Martin Short pants.
Are those like Stanley Tucci's?
So yes,
Martin
but
Short
they're Martin
pants?
Short pants, very much so.
You can have Liana make an ad for
gotta make
both of those.
Martin Short pants.
Well, now Janty's really exist.
I know.
So
she had
it's
a
not
long
even a
ass
comedy
day. That
commercial.
was like hilarious. Like what they do, stretch them.
Yep.
She was so slight.
And he's got his little toy dinosaur, Stefan.
He's like bouncing the seat in front of him.
Because he's bouncing him on the tray table, which
like,
is connected to the lady's seat in front of him.
Oh, I'm sorry, Miss Older Person.
Yeah, she snatches it out of the air.
Right? Like maybe you were having a nightmare about your early days at
in
the
circus. And so right off the bat, you're like, oh. That's the kind of kid this is. Okay.
Yep.
And then he wakes his dad up. He hears they're going over Los Angeles.
That's right.
And he wakes his dad up by shoving Stefan
up his
nose.
Yes.
Like, Richard Kind. Oh my God. Can you imagine?
Well, okay. So
I hope they did this in one take.
I read something about this was that I guess like Charles Grodin, even though he thought all of this was very funny, did not break character. Like he was in. He was
very much.
He was Martin
Uncle
Daniels
Martin
all the time, but Richard Kind, on the other hand,
was cracking up because he's so not a surly seeming guy. He seems like he's Richard Kind. Like it's right in the name.
Like a Richard Kind guy.
Yeah.
And I also read that he was 34.
Oh. Age or time has not been kind to Richard Kind.
It hasn't been Richard Kind to him.
No, it has not.
I mean, he looks exactly the same.
He does. He's always looked the same.
But like he's perpetually like 58 or something.
Or 50 at
or
least.
Something, yeah.
Yeah. So he wakes him up with the dinosaur up the nose. Oh, Papa, I'd like to ask you, my Papa.
Yes.
When we land in Los Angeles, can we go to Dinosaur World?
He's like, it doesn't land in LA.
But it is my birthday.
Your birthday was 6 months ago. We're on a business trip.
And
His
Mom all
is drunk.
wasted. Daddy's on a business. Why did you bring your wife and child on a business trip?
I don't know.
You know this child. You've known for 10 years what kind of child you have.
Right?
What were you thinking?
You know this is going to be a problem.
Well, probably what it was is the wife was like, you are taking me to Hawaii.
Right?
You're going to Hawaii.
Like, no one's going to watch this kid. He's on a list.
100%. No fucking daycare family member. Nobody will take him. And so, yeah, she's all wasted. Like, it's a business trip.
It's a business trip.
And Dad's fucking freaking out. And he's like, uh-oh. Looks like Daddy's going to have the big stroke.
It's coming down.
You know, he does the stroke mouth. Oh, my God.
Richard Kind starts to kind of break.
I
Yeah,
know.
Richard Kind
he
right
had
there.
A really
You're like,
hard time like holding it together, especially I guess in this part when he like climbs over him, like scrambling up to the cockpit because he asked him, "Can I go visit the
captain.
captain?" He's like, "Yes, my papa. Be back before dinner." Like, where are they flying from? I wonder where they live. 'Cause
I don't
seems
know
like,
if it ever says.
Like, I mean, I don't know.
Somewhere that LA's on the way to Hawaii.
I guess if
that
they
is.
could get a straight through flight.
Yeah.
So, they say earlier that, or Uncle Martin says that he was a kid in Chicago.
Oh, so maybe
like,
Chicago.
maybe that's where they're
Okay.
coming from. But anyway,
And
he's like,
he does airplane
like,
up
bop,
the aisles and
bop,
bops
bop,
everybody in the back of the head.
"Oh man,
This fucking kid.
yeah."
Yes. Gets that one old man extra.
Oh shit!
Draws
Oh,
back.
no, look, I'm
Home.
knocking things
E.T. phone home. She knocked down my
down.
giant button.
I know. Well, that's a good thing it wasn't that whole thing this time.
Because I
might.
got it anchored to the wall now.
Well, I hope so, because that was dangerous.
So he goes up to the captain's area, whatever the cockpit, and
He's like, "Can we land in L.A.?"
right away, you know,
He's like, "Oh, the only way we're landing is if there's an emergency."
whatever
He's
you
like,
say, my captain.
and then that fucking face.
That fucking evil. I'm telling you, you cannot
have
just
to
listen to this
see, no.
podcast. You have. This is one movie that you have to see.
This
because
is
the
one we're gonna
faces
say
between
that-
him and Charles Grodin.
Hearing, oh my God. Well, we've mentioned before how good Charles Grodin is at being annoyed with the whole
man.
situation. And he's like
Yeah.
top tier.
All-
Top tiered, like
all
100%
of the facial acting
Charles
is happening
Grodin
in this.
in this movie. So for like the first time ever, I believe, we're going to say that listening to this is not enough. If you
Right.
have not seen this movie,
It's
go
not enough.
watch
Go
this
watch
movie.
it. You have to. You are not going to capture
No.
the essence of this without seeing the faces.
You must see.
So of course, Stefan shut the engines
Well,
down.
first, like, Dad thinks it's like awfully quiet.
Yeah,
He's like, "Where's
it's-
Clifford?" And he was like, "He shut the engines on." It was Stefan. Are you out of your tree, sir?
And so the captain regains control, but now they need to do emergency procedures and,
looks
land in
at him
LA.
like-
that fucking look.
Oh,
And
so
Roger's like back in the real world.
He's
Roger's
like,
like, "Oh,
"That's
amazing
tight."
story. Thanks.
he's
I'm out
like,
of here."
I'm gonna go. And he's
Bye.
like, he lassos him. He's like,
Literally.
"That was not the end."
Yes.
He tells him,
I risked the lives of hundreds of people.
but nobody died.
So yeah, bye.
But they could have, but they didn't.
And so he backs the story up. I got to tell you about my Uncle Martin.
Yeah, first let me tell him, like, he wanted to build like a mass transit system, and then he also wanted to marry Miss Sarah Davis,
The love of his life.
and they were engaged, and he like
she runs the daycare at his office.
right, but then we see like cut to him driving his Mercedes,
Mm-hmm.
his like vintage silver
Yeah.
fancy pants. I mean, like,
Fancy.
they're older, clearly.
They're in their, I bet you they're supposed to be in their early to mid 30s.
okay.
That, I bet, in 1994?
Well, she does
bet.
mention that she was married before, so this is
Okay.
a second
Right.
marriage
mid
for
to
her,
late
but
30s.
he's never been married before, but he's a pretty committed bachelor.
Yes.
So he, in fact, he takes her to.
He's
for
got
a
a surprise for her. And he drives her out to this house
To,
on a cliff.
but it's
In
like
Los
a
Angeles.
concrete box.
A concrete box, a 1-bedroom concrete box on a cliff.
It probably cost $1 million.
Not in 1984.
$800,000.
Or 94. 94. Why do I keep going 84?
don't
It's
know.
not that old. 94.
In 1990 to 94.
It was
like,
I would. I don't know. I don't know. Fucking real estate
on a
in LA.
cliff, it
Colt, are
probably
you listening?
washed away
real
by
estate
now.
in LA in the 90s.
It's probably washed away by now. Do you see
Right?
that shit? They're all going into the sea.
And she's no, I did not see that. She's immediately like, no, you
I
clearly
should've
don't
known.
want kids.
No, you clearly
He's like,
and he's like,
huh?
who said I didn't want kids? She's like,
It's on a cliff.
it's on a cliff. You bought a 1-bedroom bachelor pad. Like, you
What were you
clearly like,
thinking?
where are we gonna have children?
You ever hear of a sofa bed? Sir,
Come on,
you gonna put a child on a sofa bed?
Uncle Martin.
Have you ever heard the word stupid?
Yes,
So yeah, he mentions this nephew. that
right.
He
He's
can barely
like, oh
remember
my God,
his
I love
name
my
or how
nephew.
old
yeah,
he is.
it's Clayton or no Clifford.
Something like that. Mason. I don't
Yeah,
know.
Mason.
So cut to the airport where they have had to land, and Dad is about
He's
to
like, "Where
lose
is that
his
little
fucking
monster?"
mind.
But this is like, well, you did it. You got us banned from the flight.
You're not allowed back on the plane.
He's like, Dad's coming.
And he's got that Walkman, and he's like, "Where did you get a
Oh, a
Walkman?"
kindly old priest gave it to me.
That is not true. You're lying. You're lying to your own father's face. You're an animal. And yeah, and then he's all, Daddy,
Dada.
and he's like,
Wait a minute. Doesn't Uncle Martin live
here in LA? And he's like, oh,
Maybe
ding.
you can go to Hawaii,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe he could take me to Dinosaur World. He's like,
Okay.
oh, shit. Let me just call him. He's like, I know we haven't talked in like forever.
But it just so happens he wanted this, he's got to prove
Right.
to Sarah he likes kids.
Right. He
so
just
it's
so
perfect
happened to have like
timing.
brought it up today. How
And Richard Kind's about to lose his mind
Oh
with
my
how
God.
ecstatic he is that he's getting
like,
rid
he
of this
fucking
kid
bought
for
it
a week.
Right.
Could you imagine if you lived with Clifford to get rid of him for a week?
To go to Hawaii.
And to go to Hawaii with your drunk wife?
with your drunk wife. I was just
She
about
might not even stay drunk the
You
whole
fucking-
time if Clifford's not there.
Oh no, she's getting fucking shit.
She's getting
hammered.
extra drunk. Choked on the thought. Apparently.
The thought got you so excited.
So Uncle Martin comes to get Clifford to the airport.
Right. And he goes to like, they left.
Yeah, they
They're
left
already
him
gone.
alone because
Yep.
they got to get back on their
Well,
flight.
they have to go,
to
I
make it
guess,
to
when they're
Hawaii.
leaving. So like they leave him with this
Airline attendant
or
I don't
whatever.
know.
So like back in this, oh yeah, he's back here.
And
Do you have
he
any
sees
ID?
him coming, so he makes him all sweet. He makes himself all
He
sweet.
makes a little banner. I love my Uncle Martin.
He's all curled
He's
up
having
like
puppy
just little,
dreams.
yes.
Oh my God.
And he wakes him up. Don't reject me.
yeah.
Oh, do you know about Dinosaur World? And he's like, hey,
Oh my
guess
gosh.
what?
He's like, well, it's 10:30 at night. We can't go right now. But guess what? I have a lifetime pass because I
Designed Larry the Scary Rex. Which why did this
Oh,
architect
don't know.
design a dinosaur? Is that
He's all,
something architects do?
Larry, the scary Rex, he's a scary dinosaur. But don't be scared of his sharp, sharp teeth or his mighty, mighty roar. Oh, Uncle Martin.
You're my hero. And so they go to get his bags, and all these people are like missing things.
Like,
a bike,
where's all my
a
shit?
stereo,
A surfboard, and a dog.
which
A big
Clifford
brown
has
dog.
stolen. Gotten
Yes.
his Uncle Martin to
He
steal.
was like, wow, you brought a lot of stuff with you. He's like, oh, Papa doesn't like, he's so afraid of burglars, so he makes us take all of our stuff. He's like, I couldn't leave sneakers
and
behind.
I love that they lose the dog immediately.
Oh,
and
yeah,
it's
the
never
dog is,
mentioned
like,
again.
gone.
It's never like, oh no,
ne-
you lost my dog.
Nope. He like,
Nope.
he takes the dog out of the car. The dog chases a cat, and that's it.
Yeah, so he takes him to Sarah's house immediately, like
Right.
late at night, because to prove to her, look, a child.
Right, I
Somebody
got
left
one.
it
I
in
found
in
one.
my care. Look at, I'm a good guy, obviously.
I'm a good guy. I'm a nice guy.
And Clifford just waltzes right into her house without knocking while he's trying to chase his dog around.
right.
Or not chase
Well,
it, but
no,
trying to get
he,
it out of the
like,
car.
He just goes in immediately
Yeah.
while Uncle Martin's dealing with the dog, and he chases the cat.
And then
out of
Uncle
the
Martin
house.
gets like dragged through the fence, and then that's where he loses
Yes.
the dog.
So he hears that like someone's in the shower, and she's having like a big shower
Conversation. And Clifford just goes in there, which, okay, at least he didn't look.
No, he puts
But he puts Stefan in there.
He just
And scares the shit out of her. She
I
could have
know.
fallen and hit her head, young man.
She could have died.
You don't scare people in the shower.
No, that's dangerous.
And why was her front door unlocked? It's nighttime when
I
you're
don't
in the
and
shower,
she's in
ma'am.
The shower, and you live
You
alone.
locked the door.
No, ma'am.
Because
No.
you know Charles got to have a key.
She lives in L.A.
Yes. In the 90s.
I wouldn't do that here.
No. And we live by the giant cup. It doesn't protect you from strangers.
No matter what amazing monument
no.
like the giant cup you live by.
Yes. So she's freaking out. Martin comes running in to see him in the room, and he's like, "It's Stefan!"
There's nothing but fucking weeds and
And the giant cup. Just buy some big industrial building.
Is that even a thing anymore? Is it even like do stuff?
I don't even think they make cups there anymore. I don't even know what it's for. I think it's
You know what?
empty.
I knew a girl and like her dad worked for the cup factory, and I always thought it was weird when she said my dad works for the cup factory, and I was like, what?
Till you saw the big cup,
And I was
you're
like, oh,
I get it.
The
I
cup
get it.
Factory.
The cup factory.
Got it.
Because it used to be painted, right? Didn't
Yeah,
it
it
have
used
like
to be in better-
like a Dixie cup or something, or a.
It was just white with like a blue stripe around it. It was like a cup that Look like
I
a
want to
cup.
go tag Doom Generation on it. That'd be amazing. Just a big ass.
Like
You'd have to
fucking
get a
busted.
ladder though for it to even be visible.
I know.
You'll never
like,
know.
It would be pretty.
Wasn't us?
You never know.
Prove it.
Could have been
They're all,
somebody
we have the
else.
security camera.
Right? Like we could see you.
That's
You
why
fell.
there's not graffiti
You tripped
on this
over
cup
the
ever.
fucking curb to get
You
up.
fell
here.
off your ladder and broke your fucking ankle trying
One
to do
of you
this
had
shit.
to drag the other one away. It was fucking stupid. We just sat here and watched you.
Yes, you would. You would just sit there and watch me fucking break my ass.
But anyway, he was like, "Oh, it was Stefan's fault. Shame your eyes."
Shame your eyes.
He
And
was
Sarah
like, "Oh."
thinks it was Martin when she comes out. Like,
right.
what?
He was like, "No, it was
Why
my
would you do
nephew.
that?
It was Clifford."
And he's already got a huge bowl of chocolate ice cream.
Mhm.
He's
I
helped himself to.
I didn't think she would mind. I would help myself to a snack.
And he sees Sarah and it's like love at first sight.
Instant love. And he was like, "Okay, well, we got to get Sleepyhead to Uncle Martin's." And he scruffles his hair. And he's like, "Oh, normally I would despise that when somebody ruffled my hair, but not when
When
you do it." Oh, okay, honey.
And
Let's
Clifford
go.
is just staring daggers at Sarah as that like just look
know.
into your soul eyes.
Right?
So they leave. Cut to Clifford with a big. Why did he stop and get him a double big
gulp
gulp
and
and
a
a donut?
And he's letting
At
him
2
watch
a.m.?
National Geographic tapes at
Titties?
2 a.m.
Traps
Those
women
are his
titties.
tapes. Because he was like, "We
Was
got
it
to
a
turn the
tape?
tapes off now."
Oh, I thought he was just on. It was on TV.
That's
didn't
what I
catch
thought
that.
too, but it was full nipple. I don't remember that. I don't remember that even on the Discovery
I'm
Channel.
not sure.
You and me, baby, ain't nothing but mammals, so let's do it like they do. Didn't we watch that last time I was here?
Channel?
Getting
Oh, with that
horny
video.
now.
So yeah, he shuts off the TV, and Stefan felt that was a very cruel
I
action.
know. And he's like, "Okay, well, we got to get up early tomorrow because
We're going to Dinosaur
Oh, my
World.
gosh.
The
Well,
bestest uncle in the whole wide world.
you wouldn't lie to me, would you?"
And he smashes that donut into his pajamas.
Oh, sorry. He was like, "I don't know if you lied to me, I'd be so angry. I don't know what I'd do."
What I do?
And then he goes for that kiss, like,
And he finds a ring. He's like,
Oh,
"Oh,
yeah,
by the
where's
way, whose
Whose
ring
is
is
this?
this?
He's like, "Give that to me. It's very valuable. It was my grandmother's ring." He's like, "Well, wouldn't that make it
My
my
great
grandmother's ring? So it's just as much mine as it is yours."
And I want to marry Mrs. Davis and give her that ring." And he's like,
Well, I
"I'm
want to
gonna
give it to her.
Ooh, how
Ooh.
exciting! Ring bearer.
Yeah.
And so
We'll
the next
see.
the next day, Martin brings Clifford to work, and they go stop and say hi to Sarah at the daycare.
He picks him up at the window.
And now they're only like 4 inches different,
I
so
know.
it's not a huge height difference
No,
in real
it
life.
really isn't.
So I wonder, was he just on his knees and he
He
just
might
like
have been, like,
just
well, they-
crouched?
I saw that they were standing on like taller things to make them look bigger than him. It wasn't like a orphan situation where they put them in club kid shoes. Did you see that picture?
Speaking of club kid shoes, we
Ooh.
forgot to tell Kim about Pinball Wizard.
Oh, we got a thing today.
We ordered a Pinball Wizard.
She saw a thing that was weird at Target, and then we found it at Tom's of Finland for even cheaper.
Wait
It was
till you
fantastic.
see the photo. I'm going to
Oh,
post
yes,
it
how
on
they
social media,
advertise
but
it.
let me show Kim right now the photo of how they advertise this Pinball Wizard plush.
Oh.
So it's a big, muscly man in a sex swing. A big,
Again.
naked, muscly man.
It came from Tom's of Finland.
And he has about, 20...
I don't know, a bunch of
30
the
Elton
Elton
John pinball wizard plushes all
piled
over his crotch. Yeah. Yes. But
He's
they
got
had
his
the boots.
legs
It had the
wide
big
open.
boots. That's what made me think of the
I
club
know.
kid shoes.
Yes.
So yeah, we got one of those coming. We'll post pictures when
We'll
we get
have
it because
that
I
up in
was
the
the most
Doom room.
random thing. I was like, "Girl, I was
I
at
know.
Target and I saw a pinball wizard plush," and she's like, "Shut up! Did you buy it?" And I'm like, "No," and she's like, "Bitch, podcast."
We have petty cash.
Spend the fucking podcast. We did Tommy.
we did.
It
Tommy.
belongs in the studio.
Come on now.
But I tell you what, no.
And a can of beans.
Can of
no
beans. I tell you what,
No
if you
doom
want your
beans.
own, if you go to that site we went to, Culture Relic, I think it was
Right.
$4.50
Yes.
plus $4.95 shipping for your
So
very
if
own
you want your
Pinball
very
Wizard.
own, go get it.
See how we just be flexing with this cash? It was $9.88.
Just be flexing.
I'm like, yeah, I could spend that petty cash.
I was like,
I got
we
that
petty
$9.88.
cash. It's
Don't
petty
you worry
cash.
about it, girl. Don't
I
you
mean,
worry.
Come
I got
on,
you.
luxury.
So So he tells Sarah he's taking him to Dinosaur World.
Yes.
But
And
first
they're
he's
like-
got a meeting with the boss.
But they're like walking through here talking shit about him really loud.
Really loudly. Like just openly talking shit about the boss.
And like Clifford is like
this
rolling
he's like
over. See,
tumbling.
this is the kind of shit I'm telling you.
You have
gotta
to see it.
You gotta see it because it's all the things going
He's
on in the
tumbling
background.
over furniture. He like knocks
He's got
over a
the, like,
lamp, but puts the
and he's making
lampshade
it
on like a
his head.
hat
He's like going over and he's doing that weird dancing thing that he does.
that he
with
does.
his
Yes.
hands.
And so he meets he
They
meets
run
Mr.
into
Ellis. Yes,
Ellis,
they run
and they're
into him
like,
coming
"Oh,
out of
shit."
the elevator.
Well, they talk about how like, oh, it's a rug.
They're talking about his wig. Yeah.
Mhm. And so like he tells them like they run into him like, oh hey, what's up? And here comes Clifford.
Ooh, that's the bestest looking wig I've ever seen.
Oh hey, now
not a
that's
wig.
Not a
It's not a
wig.
wig.
No, but you said you called it a rug. Even he's like, no, I didn't.
I know I would never.
What are you looking at? Nothing.
And now Mr. Ellis, who's never met Sarah, she said he's never even
No.
come down. He's
no,
he's
and he
never
was
come
like
down.
Sarah Davis.
But
I should-
suddenly he runs into her, knows exactly who she is, and now it's like, oh, I need to talk to you about something.
Would you mind if I called you later?
And like,
me?
don't get me
No,
wrong,
her.
Mary Steenburgen is a pretty lady, but you're telling me that upon seeing Mary Steenburgen
right? You're gonna
with her fiance,
Yeah.
and this weird kid who just insulted your rug, or not he complimented your rug.
Well, he
but
did. He said
insulted
it
you
was
in
the bestest
bestest
rug
rug
in the whole. But I said it was
It's
a compliment.
The bestest.
It
But
was
like,
the very bestest.
I mean,
is this the one without the ponytail? Right? Because that
yes,
was-
no, that
okay.
comes later. That comes
Okay.
later.
Well, that's what I was saying because I couldn't remember if it was there or not. And I was like, I thought that was the gag that it was like a different wig. It's
Yeah,
like, what are
it's
you
a
looking
different
at?
wig. Yeah, later it's different. So Ellis meets with Martin, and he's suddenly now. So he's been plotting on Sarah this whole
Yes,
time because
he's
like
like-
now he's suddenly like, oh, I need you to do this project
Yes.
all over again. I need you to move the whole line by 2 miles in 2 days.
He's like, it's gonna go in the fucking dam.
Like you can't do that.
it's
Oh, you'll figure it out.
impossible.
You'll cram it. You'll get it.
Sure.
No problem.
Yeah.
And
It's
so
fine.
Martin's like, well, no Dinosaur World.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Like, we can't go. And he's like,
Well, so now Clifford is hacking into. Is this an ATM machine?
I don't know what
They
that
don't work at
is.
a bank.
No.
Why
it's like
is there an
just
ATM with
a
Ellis's
video
face on it?
greeting thing? Where does it's an
I don't know what that
architectural
is.
firm?
Yeah, I don't know what that thing is, but
This-
it looks like an ATM machine.
It gives me 9 to 5. Is this what happened to
This is the later Dabney Coleman business. This is what happened after 9
a
to
lying,
5.
egotistical, sexist, bigoted dick
It
or whatever
fits.
they call
He got a
them,
rug and opened a new company.
right? He got really
This is
into
the sequel.
that
You guys, new
BDSM
twist.
gear.
Clifford's the sequel to 9 to 5.
Yes, there you go.
You didn't
there
know
is.
it?
Hey, man,
Now
we
you
didn't
know.
know it, but we just figured
Figured
that
it out.
Yep.
So yeah, Clifford's hacking into this thing and he's changing the picture of Ellis to be bald with missing teeth.
Missing tooth, and he like puts it away and he's playing the recorder.
And like, how is this 10-year-old a hacker? I don't know.
Because he's an evil genius.
He is. So yeah, now he tells Clifford he's got some bad news, and cut
Right.
to where Clifford is like pulling the car
He's
wheel
like,
into
you're gonna
traffic.
crash the car so bad. I need a whole gang of chocolate.
Now, and like to stop your wheezing attack, you need a whole gang of and he
Right?
falls for it. He like screeches into a 76.
Like, I don't know what his fucking plan
give me
is.
all your
Like,
fucking chocolate.
Slam on the fucking brakes. Like no.
And really, the 76 station is out of chocolate. I
know.
don't blame Martin for almost strangling this man.
I need
The gas
chocolate.
station has no chocolate.
0 chocolate whatsoever. Not an M&M.
No chocolate in the 90s
Not
in
100
America.
grand.
In
Not a
in
Butterfinger.
Los Angeles.
Seriously, you're
This ain't
gonna
no
tell
podunk
me
town.
This ain't no
I might have an
podunk town.
Easter bunny left over in the freezer.
Bitch. It's a 76.
What 76 carries a fucking Easter bunny
It's
chocolate?
not like it's a bodega.
It don't got that random weird like
No,
Bodega's
it's not
got some
like a
weird
fucking-
shit, but
But no, and even they have chocolate.
it's a mainstream gas station. Like come on now.
Seriously. That's
So yeah, he's
weird.
like he's in there trying to get some chocolate out of this guy, but meanwhile, there's
Oh.
this family with Tim Stack as the dad.
yes.
The fucking dad from what did I say?
Parker Lewis
Parker Lewis
Can't
can't lose.
Lose.
He's gonna come up in so many movies. I
know.
swear.
He does, probably.
Because what was it that we just did that he was in?
I can't remember. Nope.
He gets killed. He's jerking off. He's on the phone sex line. What movie is this? He's on the phone sex line. He's a school principal. Idle
faculty.
hands.
No,
Idle hands. He
that's
gets
right.
killed
we
by
didn't
the.
do faculty. Did we do
We did
faculty?
do
We
faculty.
Okay, yeah, idle hands.
It's been long enough that we now can't even remember if we've already
Girl,
done movies.
I don't remember last week.
Ever. Me neither.
Thanks to television and weed,
If
I
this
can't
wasn't-
remember 5 minutes
If this
ago.
wasn't recorded,
Everything is new to me.
this
all
is
the
great
time.
because we would never remember any of this again. After
exactly,
these
we'd end up like
conversations,
our
so.
moms.
Mm-hmm. I never saw that movie. What are you talking about?
I know. I don't know.
remember
I
that.
wasn't there. We're like, oh,
Like,
wow.
no, wait. There's a recording.
There's a record.
You
of
did
this.
remember it 5
There's
years
a
ago.
record of this.
So yeah. So he
The van pulls up.
bribes this fucking kid in a dinosaur.
Well,
because he
he
says we're going to
hears that they're,
Dinosaur
"Oh, we're
World.
gonna go," and the kid's like, I gotta go to the bathroom, and he gets out in a dinosaur.
And I'm sorry,
costume.
the kid who got out in that dinosaur costume is way taller than the kid who he got that costume
right?
from in the bathroom.
Well, they had to do that. They
to
had
make
do
it
that.
tall enough for Martin
I
Short
guess.
to
And
fit
like
in the
Martin
costume.
Short was like less rotund than that child as well. So anyway, he follows this kid to the bathroom, and then the kid comes.
Martin
back
comes
out, or
out
whatever.
looking
He's
for-
in the thing, and then like he gets in with the family, and they go to leave. But here comes Uncle Martin.
And he goes to the bathroom looking for Clifford and finds
Right,
this
he was
kid
like, "Where the fuck
counting
is
his
he?" He's
dollars
like,
in his clothes.
Where'd you get those clothes? He's like, oh yeah, some kid paid me to trade clothes for my
with them.
thing.
And he's like, oh, motherfucker. So he
Right.
runs back to the van and rips him out of it, and they're freaking out. The
I
parents
know, like, what
whoa!
the fuck? Like, where's my child? Where's my son? He's like, the last time I saw your son, he was counting the money he was given in the men's room.
And she just starts walloping with
And,
her
like, she
purse.
hits
But she's
Clifford
hitting
in his
Clifford
face,
on every
like, in his face.
backswing. And again, the faces. You have to see the face he's making when he's getting hit.
He's like, Mom, I'm right here.
So yeah, and then of course Clifford's still like, so any luck with that chocolate?
Any luck with that chocolate? Any luck with that chocolate?
He's insane at this point. And before we find out what Clifford's punishment is, it's already a good time to take a quick break. Do it. Be right back. And we're back.
We're back, and Uncle Martin is like, you can't do that shit.
He's like, we don't talk about people's wigs.
No, like, but I said it was the bestest wig in the whole wide
But
world.
he
He's like,
doesn't. He says he doesn't wear a
so you
wig.
can't point it out to people. Like, you don't ever compliment people on anybody's wigs.
Well, my teacher lets us play with his wig.
Oh yeah, and like he lets us borrow and lets us play frisbee with it. But Ms. Gathercole,
The art teacher, she borrows it as well, but
For
that's
other
for different
reasons.
reasons.
like
What?
As a merkin?
Merkin?
There you go.
She's doing art of herself. She's doing self-portraits with the
Oh.
fucking teacher's rug on as a merkin.
How Frida?
Right? Because what else is she? She's what?
I don't
Jorking
know.
her vagina on it?
A vagina.
She rubbing it all
She's-
over her vagina?
Gross.
What?
And then gives
Yeah.
it back, and then lets the kids
And then lets the kids play frisbee with it.
frisbee.
No.
Does he wash it?
Because
What
whatever,
would
if
you
she's doing
do?
something sexy
Is it like
with
Miss
it,
Lippy or Lippy from?
right?
She's doing like
She's rubbing it on her
facials
face
and
while she
doing the
jerks off or something. I don't know.
jorks her vagina.
Jorking your vagina.
Jork it like pulling lips.
Right? You're just like
akimbo.
yanking on it.
Yanking on it.
Lips akimbo. Somebody commented on your tits akimbo that they were cracking up at that statement, and I said that's just a natural state of our breasts. Tits
What my
akimbo.
breasts do.
That's how they.
They're
That's how they
constantly
be.
akimbo because I no longer restrain them. You can't. You can't.
I wear
not
a
even
bra
that
as
big.
little as possible.
Oh, I hate it.
I really.
Once I stop,
it feels like jail
it does.
because
It
it's
does.
and I wore one every day, all day for so long, and didn't think
I
anything of it.
know.
And now because of the pandemic and not
Thank
having
you,
to wear one
COVID.
for years, I'm like, what is this monstrosity? Why am I doing this?
Even sometimes
terrible.
the bralettes that I wear now, I have gotten
Well,
to the
because then they
point
just
where it's
suffocate them. Like it's
"Oh."
not hurting underneath, but they're
No.
just restrained.
It's just I
want
just
'em to
gotta
be
let 'em out. I wanna be
akimbo.
fucking free.
Tits akimbo.
Tits akimbo forever.
It's our motto for life.
That is, it is. It's our words, the words of our house.
yes.
Tits akimbo.
House doom. Tits akimbo.
Oh shit, patent pending.
So Clifford's punishment is no Dinosaur
Nope,
World.
you're not going to Dinosaur World. It is out. So get to your room, Mr. March.
But breaking a boy's promise and then punishing him for it is
Oh.
a terrible thing.
He's crying.
And I don't know what I might do. Like
Exactly.
that sounds like a threat.
Oh, that's not a threat.
So Clifford's up there crying to Stefan about it. It's
Yeah.
not fair.
He broke his promise, and then Sarah calls,
And he listens on the other line while he's talking to her.
and Martin lies for some reason about they're making popcorn.
yeah, I'm not
And
really
she's
sure
like,
why.
"Oh,
I
you
guess just so she
remember-"
thinks
I guess.
they're having a great time.
I guess. But she reminds him, oh, by the way, you remember my parents' anniversary party tonight.
Like,
Oh,
yeah,
shit.
sure.
Whoops.
And Clifford to Stefan is, too busy for a boy's dream, but
But
not too busy for dinner.
And that face
That
again.
fucking look. I just wrote, gets that look in his
Yes.
eye again.
That fucking cross-eyed, but kind of, but not really.
Yeah. And he takes the answering machine tape out, and for some reason, he has made a recording of Uncle Martin yelling at him earlier.
Right, where he tells him, I've got a bomb for you, mister, and you can't fight City Hall.
And
Remember
like,
that
why
shit.
was he recording that?
I don't know. There was no reason to do it
No.
at that moment. Well, he had already told
little
him that, like, he had
terrorist.
already broken his promise about going to Dinosaur World
guess.
that day, so he was already on his shit.
So yeah, he doctors this message between the answering machine tape and this recording he
Right,
made. That's
of him
basically
yelling
his
at
uncle
him.
saying he's got a bomb.
Right.
He's going to put at City Hall.
So they arrive at dinner, and Sarah's dad already doesn't like Martin.
Yeah,
He's like-
she's like asking her dad to
Like,
please be nice to Martin.
him.
And he's mad that he hasn't proposed yet, but do they not keep saying they're engaged? I'm
They
confused.
are engaged. Like, well, because
He never
I don't
gave
know.
her
He
grandma's
just
ring,
doesn't- I
but they announced them as Uncle Martin who's engaged to Miss Sarah Davis.
I don't know.
So I'm confused. Are
Is it
they
because
fucking engaged
they're,
or are
like,
they not?
Old people? Like,
don't
is
know.
it different rules?
Well,
if
she
you're
don't
not-
have a ring on her finger. So
Sh-
maybe
this is also her second.
So that's the
I don't
plan.
know.
They've
And
talked
they seem
about
like
it, but
society people.
a little bit.
And her mom is somebody. Now I'm gonna have to look that shit up. I know who she is. I
we
just
have
don't
a
know what she's
research
from.
assistant.
I know, but Ann Jeffries.
And Jeffries.
because she looked glamorous as fuck.
And Clifford gets his third hair ruffle from her
yes,
dad.
and he's like, "Oh shit!" Like he
And he
don't
asks
like
what
that.
he wants to be when he grows up. I want to be a
I'm a
dinosaur.
dinosaur.
And so Sarah takes Clifford over for some punch, and Martin tells him he has an exceptional daughter, and he's like, "Oh, thanks for letting me know."
Letting me know.
And Sarah tells Clifford he must be having the time of his life, and he's like, "Oh, scary Uncle Martin."
She's like, "What?" And she's interrupted by some lady, like, "Oh, I love your dress."
Yeah, so yeah, she gets pulled away.
Mm-hmm.
And Clifford sees Uncle Martin's Bloody Mary sitting there that he ordered,
Right, and he
replaces it with pure Tabasco
all
sauce.
Tabasco, just so spice.
And Sarah's mom comes up to greet him right before Martin takes a sip of it because he points out, "Oh, I think that's your
yes,
drink,
that's-
Uncle Martin."
Right, and she like comes up and, "Oh, if you're Miss Sarah Davis's mother, then you must be the most wonderfulest person." And she's like, "Oh,
And she
what a
kisses him all
gorgeous-
over his face.
Okay, all right, wait!
And he's like, "Oh, I think Uncle Martin wanted to give a toast."
Oh, Sarah's Martin is toasting.
And what I mean, I know you know that dad doesn't like you, but if you want to ingratiate yourself to this family, you start with the mom.
Right.
You don't start with the
The
kissing the dad's
patriarch.
ass.
We all love you, sir. Come on.
Dude, it's their anniversary. You'd go with mom first.
Absolutely. You just go with mom first.
That's just default. And if you guys, if
Default.
somebody out there didn't know that,
Now
go
you
with
do.
mom first. Because you know what? Mom's going to get her feeling hurt if you don't.
In
And
the
dad don't give a
threesome,
fuck if you
Go
think.
with mom first.
I mean, he does, but he's not going to get emotional.
Well, no, he's. I mean,
that
like, he
dad,
might, I
that
don't
kind
know.
of dad, he's not going to
Well,
cry
not that
because
kind of dad,
his
no.
daughter's boyfriend
We all love you,
toast the
sir.
mother first. Come on.
Absolutely. He don't give a shit. He don't want to hear from
He knows
you.
you're kissing his ass.
He had to come from across the room like, "Oh, fuck this motherfucker. Oh, this asshole's gonna
Oh,
fucking
okay, let's hear what
see
you have
fucking-
to say."
What Sarah's Martin has to say. What
Yes.
is she, a fucking thoroughbred? Sarah's Martin.
Sarah's Martin.
Bingo pants.
So yeah, he takes his he does this big old toast
Yes.
to dad, and then he takes a sip of this Bloody Mary and is like,
And it's just Tabasco, you little
I know.
bitch.
"It's not that hot, white boy."
Come on now.
Oh no, is it pepper?
We just ate that fucking red hot, Frank's red hot.
Oh
fucking-
yeah,
and
the
that wasn't even- it
goldfish.
was
Those
just
were
tangy.
delicious.
I-
Right? How big of a sip did you
It
take?
was already a Bloody Mary. Like there's
It should be spicy to
It's
begin
fine.
with.
If it's good.
If it's a good one.
If it's worth drinking.
And so, of course, Clifford's like, aren't you going to say something nice about Sarah's
And
mother?
he's like pointing at her like, oh, you.
He just smiles and nods and thumbs up her.
I know, it's too spice.
And he runs to the punch bowl and just
Like,
drinking straight from it like an animal.
Gross.
Like, run to the kitchen or the bathroom or something. Like, what are you
or
doing?
Try not to be a little bitch. It's just
that
Tabasco.
also. That
it's
also.
like more vinegar than anything
Yes.
else.
It might have made, it make you.
Get you right here.
Yeah.
Get you right here.
But it's not like you're on fire.
Seriously, you wiener?
So he drags Clifford off to the kitchen by his collar. I know it was you.
Yes. Well,
And Clifford recreates it. He finds it hilarious. He's like,
Right.
oh, what? Me? And Martin he grabs this big old baguette and he's chasing him around the kitchen.
He goes to attack him and then Sarah comes in.
Oh, I was just teaching him to play baseball.
It's baseball. You got to hit it. Hit it as hard as you can. Hit it.
She's like, well, dinner's being served.
Right. So
Clifford, why don't you go to wash your hands? And he sniffs his hands and is all, ew. What was he touching? What the fuck?
he's just being Clifford.
So she asked Martin, you would tell me if you were having a nervous breakdown, wouldn't you? So at dinner, she informs him that Ellis wants her to go to San Francisco with him to open a new daycare center.
Fabian.
Dumbass.
Fabian.
And
he's like, what do you mean? He's it's overnight?
Right.
What?
And meanwhile, Clifford's trying to take his chapstick. So we keep seeing that Martin incessantly is putting on the chapstick.
And he's trying to get into his pocket. He's like, "What are you doing?
Can I just borrow your
lip thing?" He's like, "No, that's unsanitary. You don't go reaching into people's pockets and using their chapstick. That's come on."
And then a minute later, he reaches into his own pocket to put it on, and it's lipstick.
Oh no! And Mr. Davis is like, "What the
fuck is happening?" But our mom
everybody's
thinks it's
laughing,
hilarious.
And he doesn't know why.
Yeah, he has no idea until he takes a drink of his water and
sees the
lip prints.
And he's like, "Oh, ha." And Sarah's like, "Wash it off. Go to the bathroom."
And doesn't he look at
Wash it
Clifford
off.
and he goes, "Go like this."
He already knows. He already fucking knows. He's like, "This motherfucker, I'm gonna fucking drown this kid."
And the butler tells him, "Oh, there's this bathroom upstairs, madam."
Really?
So the butler comes running to Sarah to tell her something's going
You have
on.
to come over here right now. And there's the police are there and they're arresting him.
And you got a warrant.
Right.
You just came up in these rich people's. These are rich white people.
Seriously, this would have never.
This is not going to happen.
Nope.
Not on their 35th anniversary.
Nope.
These rich fucking white people.
This is like when in She-Devil, when they came to arrest Bob at this rich white lady.
Yeah, that ain't happening.
No,
ain't nobody letting you in.
He's not that big of a criminal,
right?
To
well,
make
this
a
one
scene.
he's supposed to be whatever. He put a bomb at
supposed
City
to be
Hall
a fucking
or whatever.
terrorist, but this is pre-terrorist times.
True.
I
So,
mean,
yeah.
where it was a thing.
So he's getting
This is
arrested.
before it was a thing.
Suspected of planning an explosive device. Uncle Martin,
Oh,
no!
no!
In the name
Oh,
of all that's
God, no!
holy,
Oh,
somebody
and he's,
help
looking
my
around.
uncle.
And he gets that look on his face. Mission accomplished.
Mission accomplished. He whispers to Stefan.
Mm-hmm.
So back at the police station, they're grilling Martin about the bomb under City Hall.
And this bit with the lights.
You're
He's like,
grilling me
"You're
under
trying to
these
get
hot
it."
lights.
They turn it. Oh, sorry.
It's just a desk lamp.
He's like, well, now I can't
It's
see
now
anything.
pitch
And he's
black.
like, turn it back on. He's like, well, okay, it's not about the lights. Okay, again, you have to see it because this bit is amazing about the fucking lights. You gotta
And so
see his
they're like,
fucking face.
look,
gotta
you
see it.
called us to tell us you
Right.
fucking planted a bomb. And he's like, what?
What are you talking about? So they play the tape where
He's
he's
like,
like,
oh, this is some sort of prank. That's
He's
my
like,
answering
that's part
machine.
of my answering machine.
Just call my house.
Right, call my home right now. So they do. And it's Clifford. Hi, this is Clifford. I can't tell you where my Uncle Martin is, but I can give you a hint.
Kaboom! So cut to Clifford at breakfast with every item of food in the kitchen.
I'm pretty sure he's at Sarah's, right?
I guess, yeah.
And she gets up and startles him and she's like, I didn't hear you get up. He's like, I've been up since 5. I don't sleep as much as some would assume.
And like in the stuff he had, it was sugar and milk and orange
He had
juice
that
and
big bowl of
but the big
cereal.
bowl of cereal looked like it was like grape nuts or something. It didn't even look like a
Ew,
sugary
I thought
cereal.
it was Cocoa Puffs.
This
Or-
is Sarah's house.
Oh, that's
It's
true.
whatever
probably
cereal
grape
Sarah
nuts.
eats.
Oh.
So like
She
I
doesn't
didn't
seem like she eats fun cereal.
no, and so I guess that's the box of sugar probably also went into that
It was
cereal bowl.
probably for that, but it was only raw sugar.
Yeah,
It wasn't refined sugar even because it's Sarah's house.
Oh yeah,
Ew, Sarah Davis.
come on,
She drinks tea.
she's crunchy.
Oh, for sure.
So Martin gets home from jail
Here comes the jailbird.
and he ruffles Clifford's hair, but he like jinks
like,
on it, like
hard, like he's like roughing him
oh.
up. And he's like, "Oh, Larry Gould."
It's just a practical joke by Larry.
Oh shit, that's like really funny.
And he
and, like,
shoves his fucking Clifford's face into the cereal
honey,
bowl.
be careful. This boy and his cereal. He was like, I don't like those men, Uncle Martin, because they're liars. And as everybody knows, liars eventually get caught.
And he's like grabbing him by the
Yeah,
back
like,
of the neck, like. Mm. So Sarah's leaving for her San Francisco
She's like,
trip.
okay, yeah. She takes off. She gets in the limo. Like, bye. Get in the car.
Yes. And she tells Clifford to make sure Martin's not on the chain gang when
Oh.
she gets back.
Get in
Get
the
on the
car.
car.
So he's like, he tells him, I'm out on bail,
Oh God, I have a criminal record.
right?
You know what you're gonna have? A one-way ticket back to your parents.
Don't send me back to my parents. They hate me. Not as much as I do.
He starts crying. Stop
He's like,
faking
Stop
it.
faking it. He was like, Sarah's father put the lipstick in your pocket. I don't know why.
He called you a simple-minded moron.
He called me a simple-minded Marty. Yes, he called you a simple-minded moron.
I suppose he also put the hot sauce in my drink. Well, that I don't know.
That I don't know, but I would suspect the bartender.
Just a theory.
It's just a theory.
Well, I suspect someone else. Oh,
If you're talking about Miss Sarah Davis,
she
I don't want
loves
to hear it.
you.
She loves you.
She wouldn't do that.
No.
Oh, you don't think it was me, Uncle Martin?
Me?
And he tells him about his strip search.
Yes, like I was made to be naked.
Yes. Strip search. And he's like, I'm sorry, I made the tape. Oh, why did I do it? I think I know why.
It's because you broke
So
your promise.
angry. Yes, about Dinosaur World.
That's the only place I believe a boy like me could truly be happy.
Listen to me. Shut up.
Shut up!
Leave the dinosaur over there. I'm
No,
trying to tell
don't
you
even
something.
touch the content. If you touch that dinosaur again, I'll kill you.
Now listen to me. I'm trying to tell you something to help you about when I was a little boy. And he tells him about this amusement park.
Mm-hmm.
It was the only place a boy like him could be happy, but his
Before
father
he
never
could
took
go,
him.
They
And then
tore
they
it
tore
down.
it down. So I
Does it
understand
get
how you
easier?
feel. Yeah.
No, not really.
But if you go and write a confession, I won't send you back to your
Mhm.
parents. And you tell Sarah we're the best of friends. But if
'Cause
you
we
even
are,
look
Uncle
at me
Martin.
funny,
Shut up.
if you do one thing that I find weird,
Just
which is like your middle name,
name.
you're doing it now.
You're doing it now. You can't even stop for 1 second.
Can
Look
you-
at me like a human boy.
Can you act like a human boy for 1 minute?
You can't. You
Act
can't.
like a person.
You can't. Not for
Look at
one-
me like a human
His
boy.
fucking Huh?
His face the whole time is like a ventriloquist dummy come to life, but only part way. It was given animation, but no brain.
Yes.
It was like,
Oh man, the lights
Oh.
are on, but nobody's home.
and so he hugs him and he takes Stefan from his pocket.
He's like, "Do you understand? I understand that I love you." And he hugs him, and he's like, "Stefan, walk back."
and he's like, you know what? Fine, keep it.
I don't even care. I don't want
Go
the
to your
dinosaur.
room.
Just go to your room and write the confession.
So now Martin's working.
He's got 20 hours to complete this project.
And he calls Clifford down for lunch. And oh my God, remember Weber's white bread? I haven't
Yes.
seen that package
Uh-huh.
in a minute.
Yep.
I don't think that exists anymore,
I
right?
feel like
or
there
not
was
here.
a Weber's place. Or no, it was the hostess.
That was
place
Hostess,
that
and it
you
was
can go
right.
to.
It was right down the
Yeah,
street from
also
here.
that.
I think the building is still there, but it's
But it's
just
not that
empty.
anymore
Yeah.
where you can go buy cheap Hostess.
It was amazing. I loved going to
know.
the fucking Hostess
I want
store.
a ding dong.
Ding dong.
Ding dong, ding dongs. I want it wrapped in foil. I want it cold.
Mhm. Wrapped
what
in
I
foil.
want.
You can't get them that way anymore.
Well, you couldn't get it that way then because you got to do it from home.
No. They came wrapped in foil.
Oh.
That was you thought your mom did it? No.
No.
They came wrapped in foil.
Man, we had it so good. We didn't even know it.
Know.
Man, giant cups, foiled wrapped ding dongs.
So he finds a note on the milk carton.
Yes, he put a picture of himself like he's taken off to find Miss Sarah Davis in San Francisco.
And he put his picture on the milk
Oh, yeah,
carton like a
that-
missing boy.
Ooh.
So Martin runs to the
Runaway
train station.
never going back.
Oh, God. And he sees him get on the train. He follows him
Right.
on. But he wasn't on the train. He popped off the train. And then his...
San
So
Francisco,
open your golden gates. And he does
You'll
this
let
dance.
nobody wait outside your door.
And my thought was, imagine if they did not tell any of these extras.
Oh my God.
And they just went to a fucking train platform and let him do this. And you're just 1994. No, 90, 89, whatever. You're just like trying to get on a train.
Right, I'm
and
trying to
Martin
take an
short in
Amtrak.
short pants
Martin Short Pants
comes by doing a dance and a
every other
Broadway.
city makes me
fucking-
love you best.
It's again, go watch
Yes.
Clifford.
Yes.
So now Martin is stuck on this train to San Francisco.
Right, now he's stuck. Now he's going to San Francisco on the train.
And somehow Clifford, a 10-year-old child,
Yes.
meets a whole gang of teenagers.
Somewhere between the train station and home.
And they throw a party
Oh, yeah.
at Uncle Martin's.
Yep. Party
So-
at Uncle Martin.
So he calls home and some random teenager answers.
Who are you? Who are you? I'm Brian.
Am I calling? Where am I calling? Is this the right place?
Whose party is it? He was like,
Oh,
oh,
this
yeah,
kid.
Clifford. He promised that if we could have the party here if we took him to Dinosaur World tomorrow. You want me to get him?
No.
Oh, I'll get him later.
Yeah. So he gets a cab to the airport and he's going to
Uh-huh.
swing by Sarah's hotel and
He's
he
like,
changes
"No,
his mind
never
and he's
mind,
not going to
but
spy.
He
Sees them at
sees
dinner.
them
Mhm.
at a romantic, cozy dinner. And he's like, stop here. I'm going to get out. So he walks up to the window and presses his little nose up against the glass.
And she's getting a necklace from Ellis, but he's telling her this
it's
isn't
from the
from me.
whole company.
It's from the whole
Let
company.
me
to
help
thank
you with
you.
this. Mm-hmm.
But that's all he sees is her getting the necklace, and then she sees him like, wow,
Whoa! I'm just so
so
excited.
excited.
Ah.
I want to go to the bathroom and look
yeah,
at me in
I
this
just want to
necklace.
see how it looks on me. So she goes out there like, what the fuck are you doing here right now? And he was like, oh, Clifford tricked me. Or no, he was like, what are you doing
Yeah,
here right now with him and the thing and whatever? And like,
and he's trying to tell her Clifford tricked him into coming
Yes.
here. He's a
And she's
lying,
like, really?
conniving, evil little monster. And she's like, this is why we can never get married.
this is how you would talk about him if he was your own kid. Like, I know it is. And like, what you're like, all this was a put on. Like, you're a phony.
I could spot a phony a mile away.
And here come a couple
Drag queens.
Like,
who
have
are
you
like,
seen a little collie dog?
No, ma'am, I haven't.
And he looked again, his face.
And she turns around and she's in this like scrumptious little red velvet short dress
love.
number.
I love.
And she turns around and you know it's 1994 because she has a red velvet scrunchie
Yes, that
holding her
matches.
hair in this fucking divine outfit at this fancy
Yes,
dinner.
Yes.
It was acceptable to put a scrunchie in your
Mhm.
hair.
Well, you had to.
You can't just have your hair
It was
flowing.
1991 when this was filmed.
Mhm.
So yeah,
You
if
gotta
you didn't have a
hold that shit
scrunchie
back.
that matched your dress,
It was not a complete outfit.
then it was not at this restaurant. Not at this. There's a dress code, ma'am.
matching scrunchie is part of it.
Only.
So Clifford's back at the house party dancing.
Oh, doing dance montage.
and you know what? Every extra in this scene had to be 6'4".
Oh, for sure.
Because he's full body, like in
There
the middle
had
of
to
this
be, like,
crowd,
a
and they look
trench.
giant. Or
Yeah,
maybe, it was
they
on
had,
a
like,
slope.
trench,
Yeah, where he
like
was
a
down
little
in a
thing for him to
dip.
set, but oh my god, he's voguing.
Yes. Cut to Ellis trying to molest Sarah in the
Sexually
limo.
assaulting Sarah, and she fights him off.
Oh, I think he
tries to
broke a rib.
Take
I'll
off
break
this
more than that.
necklace.
Over
like,
her face. She's
Let
trying
me
to take the
help
necklace
you.
off.
She's like, no.
And he's laughing at her. You think this little high school virgin act is turning me off?
Well,
You're
it's-
wrong.
Yeah.
And
he,
she
like,
rips
jumps
his
her
fucking
again.
rug off.
She snatches his wig. It's true. Put that back.
No. She
That
throws
back
it out
on
the
my
window.
head. He wants her to put it back.
Whatever.
Come on. She was right to throw it out the window.
And cut to Martin in the plane drawing
He's
devil horns
flying
and a
home.
goatee on Clifford's
He's
photo.
like muttering to himself.
And he gets home and, okay, these teenagers put up birthday decorations. You're telling me
Streamers and
17-year-olds throwing a house
I don't
party
know.
put a
And
happy
they're already
birthday
gone.
signs?
How long was he gone? It seemed like it was still dark outside. They left.
LA to San Francisco is like maybe a 1-hour flight. I mean, the whole
That's what I'm
process of
saying.
like getting on the
Well,
plane
yeah,
and
like
whatnot.
finding
but
a flight and all that other stuff. But I imagine it goes pretty quickly.
yeah, it's got
But
to
it
be an
seemed
hour
like
or
it was
less.
still dark outside. So like the sun
He wasn't
had
even
yet to
gone a
rise. It
full
was like-
day.
Yeah. So they were already gone before 4 a.m. There was no stragglers in that
No?
house.
I know.
Nobody
that's
passed
crazy.
out.
And
Barbara
Clifford-
Streisand's son was not passed out in the back bathroom.
And how did he tie himself up, or did he get these teenagers to hog tie him?
I don't know. Maybe he just knows how. It's like a Houdini thing that he knows how to do.
So he finds them all tied up. Oh, someone tried to touch my no special.
Yes,
place.
there was bikers here, and they told me stories.
And what they do on their bikes.
Some of them were fun, but some of them
were
were scary.
And
He,
Martin
like, he
starts
just, like,
boarding up the doors
he
and windows of the
closes
house.
it,
He's
yeah,
like,
he
nope.
boards it all.
No,
I'm like, nope,
no,
fuck this.
Not falling for this.
So like Sarah calls and like Clifford answers the phone. He's like, oh, thank goodness. Uncle Martin is nutty nuts. He went away for the longest time, but when he came back,
So she's like, he's just overworked. I'll be
Right.
home in the morning.
I
And he's
love
like, I
you.
love you.
I love you too.
And he hangs up. Sometimes I scare myself. He unties himself.
Right. So then like in the morning, like, well,
Martin
Martin's
falls
trying
asleep
to
at his
work.
computer. Yeah.
He's trying to do the whole thing, but like he boards up.
He wakes up to the sound of Sarah unboarding Clifford's
Yes,
door and
she
finding him
finds
all
him-
tied up again.
What is happening here? You stay away from him. He's like, he did it.
Oh,
did it
tell
all.
her about the bikers in your damn no-no place.
And she's like, you stay away.
And it wasn't Larry who made the bomb. Thought it was him.
It was him. She's like, okay,
I'm
we're
taking
outta
him
here.
away.
Yeah.
Good. Take
Take
him.
him. Don't get mad at me when his head starts spinning around.
Watch out for the green,
Green
vomit. So his alarm goes off and the model cassette is gone for
like,
his
"Oh, shit, yeah, like, I have to go."
presentation.
So he's tearing the house apart looking for this thing.
And finds it taped under a bureau drawer.
Mhm.
Gee, I don't like him.
Right. So when he gets there, this is when Ellis has the new wig or his old wig
With
that
the
has a ponytail,
fucking
like, no
ponytail,
one's
like
gonna
a
notice.
rat tail.
You should have tucked it in, at least. 'Cause no one's
oh, you
really
just
gonna
grew a 2-foot long. You're trying to pass this off as not a rug,
What are you looking at? Nothing.
but
Right.
now you suddenly have a 2-foot long rat tail.
Sir,
Okay.
Mr. Coleman.
Way to triple
Dabney
down.
Wharton
Way
Coleman.
to triple down, Dabney.
First of his name. Dabney Wharton Coleman.
And when you look, and he tells him when he comes in, you look like shit. And he goes, well, you look like Willie Nelson as he walks away. So Ellis introduces Martin to the audience.
Get
he
up
puts
here,
his
you son of a gun. They
cassette
love ya.
in, and the model fucking explodes. Which I don't even understand. How is that a what? Huh?
I don't know.
How did what
Girl.
that did make it explode? I'm unsure.
Girl.
So he
He's
Ellis
like,
runs up.
congratulations.
Who's
Clifford.
responsible? I am. You're
Yeah.
fired.
Brilliant.
I happen to love Willie Nelson.
He's like, I underestimated the evil one.
Oh, Clifford, what
Whatever.
shall we do?
Whatever shall we do now?
Cut to Clifford playing recorder in bed at Sarah's house, and
When-
Martin covers his
Like
mouth
he
and snatches
abducts
him up.
him.
And where did he get a straight jacket? You can't
Girl.
just go buy a straight jacket. Uncle Martin had one left over from his last visit
Maybe
to the
he
institution.
Did. Maybe he did. So he abducts him and takes him to Dinosaur World.
Oh, I'm the
Are
happiest
you
boy in the whole
happy?
world, Uncle Mental Case.
Yes. You're like, you're the one in the straight jacket. Sure. But when they get you one, yours will have to be much larger.
So they pull up and he unstraps him and takes him up the employee entrance.
Yep.
Tells the guard to throw some light on the Rex.
They drive right up to the Larry the Scare. And this is what, okay, so this is what I read. Because, again, this movie was filmed in 1990, 1991.
Right.
And apparently Martin Short is friends, and this is, I guess, what he said. He's friends with Steven Spielberg.
Mm-hmm.
So Steven Spielberg got to see this before it came out in 1994. So when he was doing Jurassic Park in
He had already seen
1993,
this
he had already
dinosaur
seen
theme
this,
park.
and he wanted to like rip off of this for the Jurassic World theme park. When you look at it,
It's got some similarities.
I believe it.
It's
because
got that
it did
welcome
come first.
kind of,
It had the big gates. The font looks the same. It's got the volcanoes and shit. And also the ride.
Yeah.
The ride is very much like that too. Like the Larry the Scary Rex. Come on now.
Yes. So he puts him on this ride, and I'm sorry, 1 or 2 people at a time can ride this ride.
And it's a long ride.
One Triceratops cart at a time, not a chain of them.
Yeah, and then like the pterodactyl has to come down and do its thing, and then
Every
Larry's
time, so
gotta
there
do
has
its
to be
thing.
time between. So, like, how long
And
is
it's
the
a
line?
long fucking ride.
Yeah,
This is like how many people? This is L.A.
yeah.
Is this at the La Brea Tar Pits? It should be.
It should be. Oh my god, we
It
still need to go there.
I
We should go
know
there.
the La Brea
Least Haunted
Tar Pits.
Least Haunted is actually coming down to go to the La Brea Tar Pits, I think, like next month or something.
that'd
And
be
I told
funny.
them depending on the day of the week, like if it's a day,
Right,
we're
if
not
it's a
doing
day that we
anything.
could do that, we just pop on down to
pop
Los
on
Angeles.
down to the Tar Pits. Oh, it's across the
Yeah.
street? Nice.
Well, we went by there. And they had
We
it
drove
all-
through there, yeah.
You could kind of see it from the street.
Mm-hmm.
Just want to see that. I just want
Just
to
want
go.
to see it.
Just want to go.
We just gotta.
We do. I want to dip a toe.
I want to dip a toe in the tar.
I get like banned for life.
He puts him on this ride, and he's like, we'll see how you feel about your dream after you've been in on this ride for 10 hours.
Oh, I would love it even more.
Then 100 hours.
Mm,
And
okay.
he sets him off in his cart.
Right. And here comes Terry the Terry. Hello.
I must warn you.
Right. He's in a
Larry
foul
is
mood.
cranky.
Yeah.
Oh no, earthquake!
Yes. There's like a coaster and a splashdown and then skeletons and like then there's Larry's lair.
Save yourself. No one
Yep.
has ever wandered into Larry's lair and lived to tell the tale.
This fucking thing, like, whoa.
It's like, yeah, this fucking T-Rex is standing up behind him as the cart
Right.
turns, and
It's
there
like,
he
whoa.
is. Oh boy, you're big.
Right.
And
then,
it's
like,
got a little laser gun. This
He, like,
ride
does
is
that-
amazing.
well, it's like the when you go down to like Paradise Pier and you could do the little thing, the little Toy Story ride at Disneyland or California Adventure.
Oh, the
They
Buzz
got
Lightyear
at
one. Okay.
Disneyland, too, where you
Because,
do,
yeah,
like,
it
a
did
little
kind of look
laser
like
gun.
a little spaceman gun or
Mhm.
something.
It's fun. So he zaps it and off he goes.
Bravo. The music plays him
Yay!
out.
Stefan, we did it.
And Uncle Martin's just standing there looking insane.
Yeah. Bravo. Don't forget the frozen yogurt bar.
How many years do you think you'll get for kidnapping me, Uncle? Uncle?
10 most wanted. Faster. Yeah, he's like, well,
Send
we'll
him
go
faster.
And then faster again. He's like, do you think Miss Sarah Davis and Ellis will name their first child Martin?
Cute. I shouldn't put this on hyperdrive, but I just can't seem to help
Why
myself.
is that even an option?
Oh, right? Hyperdrive for the
Why
roller
is that even
coaster
an
should
option?
not be an option.
Why is it go
He
that fast?
designed it with his nephew in mind.
I guess so.
So he sends him off like a rocket. The fucking
Oh,
skeleton rockets up out of the thing
Everything,
into the
it
car.
sits in the thing. Terry is like,
Terry's all
all
fucked
over
up,
the place.
crashes into Larry,
right.
knocks him off balance, alarms going off.
Larry's
Why
face
does his
peels
face
off.
peel off?
I don't know.
What the fuck?
It's really scary.
Martin's trying to shut it down.
Right. He like goes in and is like, there's a broken car and he's over there dangling over Larry's jaws.
Uncle Martin, save me.
He was like, I'm thinking about it.
I'm scared of what might happen if I save you. Maybe I'm
Right.
doing mankind a tremendous favor if I let Larry eat you.
Right? He's like, oh, what happens if he gets a plutonium? I just made the bestest nuclear bomb in the whole wide world.
And the cart spins and he almost falls and the
Oh.
skeleton falls into Larry's mouth.
God
Uncle
damn it.
Martin!
Fine. So he jumps over there. Take my
He
hand.
pulls him up. And
And
it's
then he
just about to
jumps
break.
right
They
in the
leap
neck.
off. Oh, Clifford's so sorry. He hugs him.
He's
Stop.
like, don't.
I don't want to
Sorry.
hug you.
Sorrow is a human emotion. You're not human.
You're just this destructive thing, and eventually everyone just gets to hate you.
Oh.
Let's go.
Right? Why would I want to go with you? Well, go. Don't go with me. I don't care. You have a choice.
Cut to Old Man Clifford.
Mm.
For the first time in my life, I felt very confused.
Right.
I thought I didn't care about how he felt about me, but his words had devastated me.
Yep.
Thought I was so clever, but I hadn't figured out until that moment if you destroy everyone who stands in the way of your dreams, you end up alone with no dreams at all.
Oh, no.
Is that what's going to happen to me?
Well,
Nah.
you're much too intelligent for that. And he was like, well, did your uncle ever forgive you?
I sent him over 280 letters of apology, all of them returned unopened.
But what about his girlfriend?
Well, Well, one day, out of the blue, I
Which is
received
a phrase
call.
we used to use back then.
The bestest request in the whole wide world.
Oh, and he's the ring bearer.
He got
at their
his ring.
wedding.
The ring bearer. Uncle Martin had forgiven me.
Yep.
And that simple act of kindness saved my life.
Right. So, thank you, Father. But you were some kid.
I really have a long way to go to match you. But I won't.
Because I
Thank
want
you.
people to like me.
How are you going to do that? Right. 287 letters of apology.
See you next week.
And he's still got little Stefan in his
Pulls
pocket.
him out like mission accomplished,
old friend.
Ah.
So once again, go
watch
Clifford. It's
Do
so
it.
good.
It's on free TV. It's on Prime. It's out there. You can find it. I guess at some point when they had talked about it in like the 90s or whatever, like Charles Grodin was on some talk show and they were like, oh, where can you get this? Where can you rent it? And he was like, probably at my house.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was before they had released it
Oh, okay.
wide.
But yeah, what did this movie doom us? It doomed us to want to ride the Larry the Scary Rex coaster.
No, I don't want to ride that. I don't want to ride that.
You don't want to die in the
I want to play
mouth
recorder like that, though.
right? He's an amazing recorder.
It doomed
player.
us to believe that Martin Short could be a child.
Could be a 10-year-old child at 38 years old.
And Charles Grodin, of course.
We love
Just Charles Grodin, of course.
So we have a voicemail,
Ooh.
and I don't know who it's from because they didn't say,
Mm.
but we're going to play it.
Do
Maybe.
it, Doom Generation. Do it to me now. I need it. You're the only ones who podcast the way I like it. You're the queen.
Thank you to whoever that was. Very
love
sexy
it.
message. And then we also have, I said from our new patron, we have a message. So when I
Oh.
sent him a message thanking him for joining, he said, "Thank you, Tessa and Nicole. I just love your podcast. I've been working my way through all your episodes. The Aliens, Showgirls, and Elvira episodes were so damn funny. I've listened to them multiple times.
Oh.
I'm also enjoying your Patreon so much. Love that spicy B-roll, and the Society watch-along was so fun. Cannot wait for the Willy Wonka episode. One of my absolute favorites. Thank you, Chris K.
Thank you.
And if you want to join our Patreon and get those sweet, sweet, spicy B-rolls and
Ooh,
commentary
it's so
episodes, patreon.com/Doom Generation.
It's definitely spicier than a Tabasco Bloody Mary, you
Yes,
bitch.
it is. And if you want us to play a voicemail from you, 702-720-DOOM.
Yep.
702-720-3666.
How
You can text
apropos.
it. You can call it. You can do whatever you want with
You
it.
could do.
Write it on the bathroom wall.
You can
Please,
do what
do it.
you want.
Take a picture. Send it to us. And on that note,
We'll talk at you next time.
later, Doomers.